The man was just trying to figure out a way to rescue. I suddenly saw a figure climbing over from outside the car through the rearview mirror. This is the most watched horror blockbuster Werewolf in 2025. This film has horror master Leigh Whannell himself. As the man behind the warm man, they are the golden partners in the horror film industry. Lurking is a famous series of whole pictures that resound around the world. His independent thriller The Invisible Man has won a double harvest at the box office and word of mouth. Observed it carefully again, but the figure has disappeared. However, after a while, Ray heard roars coming from nearby. It was by no means the sound of any animal he had ever heard. The fear of the unknown finally scares it. At this moment, his father finally found him. He quickly took him to hide in a nearby blockhouse. Stinky breath exhaled by the other party is clearly visible. Men can only stare at the ready at any time. He did it. But he didn't expect the other party to leave in a hurry as if attracted by something. After waiting for a long time, he finally looked carefully. All he saw was the exposed corpse that had been disemboweled not far away. When the man saw this, he quickly raised his gun and looked around for the next second. This shot seems to have wounded that thing. With a hint of Peking opera roar and anger, it finally faded away.
What was it, Dad?
No one but Ray always felt that it didn't look like a bear. Sneaking into the basement in the middle of the night to peek at his father, then he heard the man tell his companions that he had encountered another monster who kept his life in check. It seems that they have long known of the existence of this thing. This left an indelible shadow on the boy's young heart. Fast forward 30 years later. Ray grew up to be Ray and moved to the city. The happy family has made him forget those bad memories. But today, his fragile nerves were struck again by an email. Turns out his mysterious father died suddenly a few days ago. The neighbor informed the news and sent back the keys to the old house. Although Ray doesn't want to face that place, but as a son, he had to go back and take care of the funeral. Originally, Ray just wanted to go and come back quickly, but the family insisted on accompanying him back to the house. I don't think there's been any weird talk there in all these years. Ray thinks it's just an unknown owner. In the laughter of his wife and daughter, he also gradually relaxed. But soon after entering the forest, Ray was forced to stop the car. I saw that the only road here was blocked. This made him a little confused, who hadn't been back for a long time. And here there is still no signal as before. There are people guarding the blockhouse not far away. Ray quickly asked when he saw this. The ranger said the road ahead collapsed and was cut off. But he knew a path to go around. There is no way Ray can only ask the other party to help lead the way. Soon it got dark, and Ray didn't expect that there were still people in this deserted mountain. During the conversation, the car simply got stuck in the trunk without causing any more damage. But the ranger below, struggling to get up, couldn't take it because of the door. He fell directly from the air a few meters high. Seeing this, Ray quickly asked his family to climb out of the car first, but at this moment, he suddenly heard the familiar roar. Then I saw a figure crawling over from behind. It instantly reminded him of the horrors of his childhood. Broken glass instantly scratched his arm. The monster did not continue to attack. Instead, they brutally hunted the men below as food. Ray had no choice but to take the opportunity to escape. And from the beginning to the end, Dav made a sound, shut up tightly, and quickly fled the place with Ray. But even so, the monster still caught up after a while. Fortunately, the crash site was already very close to the old house. Several people finally escaped into the house before the other party caught up. After a period of intense installation to no avail, that thing gradually stopped going crazy, but the sound seemed to be lingering nearby and had not left. Ray can only turn on the power first when he sees this, then press the bookcase against the door. Then he took out his there is no response at all, and just then he suddenly smelled the aroma of meat. But Anna, who was rummaging around, smelled nothing. Then I found the bacon that my father had placed in the storage room. But he wondered how he could smell it through the thick iron door. Curious, I took a bite from Ray. Unexpectedly, the soft meat slices cut off his teeth at once. He thinks he might have hit his jaw in the car accident just now. But in this case, Anna saw her husband's arm covered in blood. Then he lifted his sleeve to check and found that he had not been scratched by the glass, but by the monster. and neither of them understand what kind of disaster this will bring. After a while, Ray found that his daughter and wife were looking at him with strange eyes. He thought it was the movement of the reinforced door that disturbed the two of them. Promised to do it all in a few minutes. But they still stared at themselves and didn't respond. This scene made Ray feel furious in his herd. I can only continue to strengthen the door regardless of the two. But soon he made a mistake and hit his hand. Ray felt hot all over. He rushed to the kitchen to rinse and cool down. Suddenly, I heard footsteps coming from the room. But by this time, the wife and daughter were already lying asleep on the sofa. Seeing this, he quickly followed the solidarity and found it. The next second, the truth made it feel terrifying. At this moment, the subtle climb of the spider is so clear in the rigor, and we can't figure out what's going on. A lot of noise echoed in his head. The sound of human breathing, the zlay of a light bulb, the sound of insects in the wild is so loud. Ray was instantly dizzy by these amplified movements. But there was also that terrifying sound of footsteps. Hearing this, Ray immediately endured the nausea to keep himself awake, and as he gradually recovered, he fainted under the constant tossing. Wait until Ray wakes up again and try it late at night, and strangely enough, it was so quiet. His family was not by his side as he had hoped. And as soon as he saw that, he started listening again with all his senses. After a while, I heard Anna's voice. Ray followed the movement to find the basement. It turned out that the daughter was placed here. He is still relieved that his wife is considerate. But what happened the next second made him completely confused. I saw Anna still calling for help on the radio, but the words made Ray feel creepy. It turns out that Ray lost his language function after cleaning out the old house. He thought he was talking in the eyes of his family, all kinds of Abba Abba. Now Ray finally understood why no one responded to him. Plus what happened before. The weirdness made him finally realize that something was wrong with his body. Anna took out a pen and paper and asked her to write down what she wanted to say. But Ray found that the flexibility of the hand also began to be greatly reduced. In despair, he can only struggle to write that he is about to die. Seeing this, his wife quickly comforted him that he was just sick.
What is happening?
But his family was unable to accept and answer his inquiry. Now their sensory systems seemed to be in two worlds. But looking at my daughter's worried expression, Ray still endured, not struggled to sit up. But just this moment made his arm start to rise again. Anna saw this and hurriedly wanted to deal with it again, but found that her husband's wound had a tendency to spread. And Ray, who smelled blood, seemed to be stimulated. He actually started to bite the flesh and blood on his arm frantically. And then, unsatisfied, he started to suppress his family again. Anna was too scared to move by this scene. Simply the remaining sanity made Ray not choose to do it. But Anna knows she can't sit still. We must find a way to get our families out of here. Just then, the broken car outside gave him hope. Anna hurried to the basement to find the key. Then pick up the pair of firearms. Then, he carefully opened the door with a knife, and they took their families and they rushed to the car. Then quietly lift the machine cover. Throw out the positive and negative electrodes of the firearm. But after doing all this comes the real difficulty. After the ignition, the roar of the engine rotation kept receding. The loud noise is especially harsh in the middle of the night. After some effort, the car finally started. And the monster never showed up during this period. Anna quickly took the opportunity to clean up. So ready to go. But when he got up, he realized that the monster seemed to be his father. For some unknown reason, the other party has become like this. Looking at his terrified wife not far away, Ray, who was confused, quickly fled the place. But he hadn't gone far before his body reached its limit. Ray can only grow far away in despair. When he got up after the sale was completed, the world in my eyes has completely changed. After a while, Anna, who comforted her daughter, found that the power at home was cut off again. Thinking of something, she immediately looked out the window. Then I saw a heartbreaking scene. Anna realizes that her husband has failed to protect his family in the end. And tonight, the two will turn into enemies and hurt each other. Just because the other party has quickly found the flaw in the house? Soon Anna heard the sound of glass breaking upstairs. Seeing this, he quickly picked up the building again. Then carefully walked to the staircase. But after observing for a long time, he did not find the other party's figure. The next second, seeing the other party want to do it, Anna's preemptive strike is a knife. Then he quickly opened the door and rushed out of the house, but he knew he couldn't escape the other party. He had to flee to a nearby farm to take shelter. The darkness makes it impossible to see anything. He found a flashlight on the shelf, and the trapper on the side made Anna have a plan. Soon there was a violent crash outside the door. The gate is rather sturdy, but after a while, Ray went west and broke in. The two could only hide in the corner and did not dare to make a sound. But I don't know that in Ray's eyes, their actions have long been seen clearly. But just as it was about to move forward, I stepped on a trapper hiding in the dark. The connected chains instantly restricted Ray's range of movement. Anna and the two quickly took the opportunity to flee the place, and the jagged teeth of death made it impossible for him to break free. Seeing each other run farther and farther, in a hurry, Ray directly hit him hard. After a while, he crawled out with his bloody broken leg. Then he quickly caught up with his hands and feet. By this time, Anna and the two had fled deep into the woods, but under Ray's wild run, the distance between the two sides is narrowing rapidly. Anna knew that this was not the way to go on. I just happened to escape to the scene of the car accident. He quickly followed the blood trail to find it. Sure enough, I saw the ranger's shotgun nearby. He quickly picked it up and took his daughter to hide in the blockhouse next to him. Ironically, this is where Ray first encountered the monster. But now his identity has undergone a major transformation. Soon, Ray climbed up as before. Anna hurriedly sniped the gun nervously, but the other party just stared at it and never pounced. The daughter instantly understood what her father meant when she saw this.
He wants this to be over.
It turned out that he was chasing the two to let the other party help him free when he was only sane. Thinking of this, Anna felt even more guilty and couldn't do it. Ray made an immediate decision when he saw this. Ray finally got his wish. But the monster's secret will not be completely dissipated with his death. Anna could clearly feel that something was peeping in the depths of the jungle.